Well, football is, of course, ultimately just a game, but for the next 2 hours, it might not feel like that. The stadium is full of noise and energy. This certainly matters. Colours vivid and vibrant, songs loud and proud. The tone for this game is well and truly set. And already we're underway here.
Well, this 4-4-2 formation is often used in the modern era defensively, but it used to be the gold standard of formations a generation or so ago, Peter, and it does allow the fullbacks to play a key role in attack.
Yeah, they offer most of the width, don't they?
Exactly. You want them to be high up the pitch so they can get themselves into the final third whenever possible. This will, of course, ask an awful lot of the centre halves and the central midfielders, who'll need to drop into position and cover the spaces. We've seen many free role players that have graced the game, but Ruud Gullit is amongst the elite.
Well, no one would argue with that, Jim, but what do you identify as special in him?
Well, so physically powerful and intimidating, and I think his athleticism helps him get through a fierce amount of work.
Well, nothing quite like him in the modern era.
Agreed.
Chouameni, fair to say, I think a cautious start from both teams. And here's Raul. Now it's Tonali.
That's just playing it safe and simple.
That's the throw. And it's Chouameni. Pele. And the pass is intercepted. Now it's Greenwood. Greenwood was alert to the possibilities, but in the end it's fruitless.
Well, it seems as if the message has been issued by both managers: don't concede the opener.
Hazard. Hazard going face-to-face with his great rival. Vieira plays the game a step ahead of almost anyone.
Just as I thought, Peter, it looks like this is a side that's setting themselves up for a counter-attack.
Yeah, stand by for the early ball, the big one over the top.
Yeah, and those that are up top, Peter, have to be willing to chase, and of course those in midfield have to be ready now to recycle.
And they have got just the right players for that. And this is Gullit. Greenwood. Tonali. It's a pretty loose pass. And it's Hazard. Bellingham. And it's Bellingham. Tonali. Raul.
They want to be quick here. It's breakaway time.
Greenwood will not want to lose out here, not against this opponent. Guirassy. Now it's Tonali. Vieira. Good running, strong and purposeful. And that interception was most necessary.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Half an hour played now. He's found a way through. Well, the defence proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him.
I'm struggling to work out whether that was brave or a bit stupid. Maybe both, actually.
Pass somewhat off target. Bellingham. A mixture of good defending and indecisive passing. No progress. Chelsea finding their passes. Rafael Varane. So still we are where we began. It's 0-0. Oh, that's wonderful alertness. Hazard. And that's been intercepted.
That's great positioning. So good from him.
Pele. And here's Hazard. And this is Del Piero. Now the through. Really well taken goal. Rafael Varane. And Zanetti. Cucurella is a perfect combination of brain and brawn. Zanetti. And it's Tchouaméni. Passes coming off in quick succession here. He steps in, and that's the end of that. Oh, it's a great ball here. Rafael Varane. Thuram. Lovely bit of skill. Played back.
He's got no choice here. He had to go backwards.
And he's managed to get free. Up he goes! And he's there to get it away. A decent effort as the first half draws to a close. It hasn't been a bad watch, not by any means. The intensity levels are there. We've just lacked that telling breakthrough moment. Reflections on the first half?
Solid. Very solid, actually, Peter. They haven't made much of an impression at the other end, but defensively I think they've got an awful lot right, completely nullifying their opponents. Now they just need to focus on getting a little more creative.
Well, after 45 minutes it is still goalless. A change perhaps after half-time. So we're just settling back into this second half.
Well, both sides are eager to get going. Here's hoping that it's a good sign. Things are about to change. We need a little more life in this.
Now who's going to be first to this? He might be in here! There's a beautiful simplicity about this contest. Willing running on one side, dogged defence on the other. Stood up well to him there. And that is as far as they're going to go. Raul unable to make it happen for all his good intentions. Goalless still, neither side really getting onto the front foot. Cucurella. Now Rafael Varane. Howson. Gets a good foot in there. And he's away. Well, that is good. Super running, sharp movement. Came up against a defender, though, who was ever so determined. No, that's been intercepted. Pelé, of course, a dribbler of outlandish ability.
They've got to be quick moving this forward.
Now that looks a decent ball. Bumps him off it and wins back the ball. That's a lovely, neat pass. Now that's well seen too. He's in a great position here. Very few chances to talk of, Jim. Defence is, it seems, on top here.
Well, I think it's a fair reflection on what we've seen so far. Neither side has produced that many efforts at goal simply because respective defences have been strong.
Well, that defending is unapologetically persistent. It's almost personal, and it had to be. And it's Azar. Oh, facing up to his adversary. This is a formidable matchup. Raul.
A lot of space here, a real opportunity.
Rafael Varane. Here's Tchouaméni.
Are certainly playing with an intense focus in executing their plan here.
Greenwood takes a shot! It's a goal! And late in the day, a telling moment.
Look, before we can even delve into the detail, the significance of taking the lead should be our initial reflection, and that's priceless.
The movement so precise, the finish sumptuous.
Well, it's an example of counter-attacking at its finest, real cut and thrust.
Sostituzione di giocatori. Numero 20.
We have got changes here from both sides, in fact. A 1-0 lead established.
Look, experienced voices need to be heard now, along with good purpose and urgency, and they can get right back into this. I think the message here is quite clear, Peter. They want another one and will seemingly keep going until they get it.
Juan Sebastian Veron. Attenzione, una sostituzione.
And the two sides separated by the game's only breakthrough moment to this point. 1-0 the score. Veron. That has been cut short. And now the breakaway. Messi. Oh, now here's an interesting matchup. Zanetti simply refused to be outdone there. Chelsea leading here by this still precarious 1-0 margin. Rummenigge is someone with real dynamite in his boots. And here's Vinicius Junior.
I thought it was going to happen then. How many more chances can they realistically expect now?
Drogba receives it in a wide position. Not much time now for anything fresh to happen, I think. Vinicius Junior running with the ball. Tchouaméni, Semenyo might just make this. He won't be happy with that one. Ibrahimovic.
Ci sarà un minuto di recupero.
And he's gone looking for safety. And that is as far as it goes. Well, that was tense. Boy, that was tense. The two sides separated by the games.